Hawthorne neighborhood was originally developed in 1952 as a typical suburban neighborhood for white, middle-class families. In 1960, the population was 91% white. By 1970, white flight had hit this area as it did in many areas across the country, and the neighborhood quickly became predominantly African American. Most private sector development dollars targeted new neighborhoods in South Tulsa, and North Tulsa was largely ignored, which has resulted in long-term and generational poverty.
North Tulsa, like 70% of our homes are single-parent homes. Our schools, like right now, none of our schools scored higher than a D on the state report cards. And so when we couple that with the fact that for African American who has dropped out of school, 60% of them end up in prison. And so it's like this is a whole complex, serious issues that we're dealing with. And so we said, hey, it takes a comprehensive approach to deal with these issues.
Because of these and other challenges facing the community, Crossover Community Impact was formed.
When we started Crossover almost 8 years ago, we started it with the desire to be the kind of church that made an actual difference in our community. We said, hey, we want to make a tangible difference out north. It's just we didn't really know what that looked like. The lights went on when I started coaching a youth football team. We saw these kids struggling in school. Like at least half of them, their dads were not in the picture. And we could see the trajectory of their lives if nothing changed. And so we said, we got to do something, even if these kids and their families never set foot in our church. And so we started talking about character practice. We started doing after-school tutoring with these guys.
About the time that Crossover Bible Church was being planted, my wife and I decided to pray on Saturday mornings. Philip and I were introduced to each other through a mutual friend who was praying with us at that point in North Tulsa when we moved up.
We had a mutual friend that said, hey, I know a guy that is pastoring a church in North Tulsa. And so Justin and his family visited and they enjoyed our service, and then I got to sit down and talk to Justin.
I brought my list of things that I saw needed to be done, and he brought an amazing flow chart of the same types of things, so much better organized than I had.
It was crazy how similar our ideas were and the things we were wanting to do, and so we said, hey, let's partner up.
And that was really where CCI was born, was at that lunch.
CCI sets out to restore the Hawthorne community. We do this through the relocation of staff to live in the area, reconciliation by intentionally loving people of the community, and using our skills and assets to bring a just redistribution of resources into the neighborhood, while also breaking charity dependencies and restoring dignity to the character development process.
And one of the key components of Christian community development is relocating into the community that you're trying to serve. And so for us, my wife and I, we lived out north since we got back to Tulsa almost 8 years ago.
My wife really wanted to move to North Tulsa, as did I, after both of us had been to inner-city mission trips, as well as impacted by books we'd read by especially John Perkins, who founded the Christian Community Development Association.
In my first year here, I met Philip Abodi. He came up with the after-school program, the crossover football team, which started with our second grade students here at Hawthorne. And I thought it was exciting because we don't have many sport activities here for our young male students, and to see them involved with other male role models.
The community has many needs, but we feel that most of these can be met through the following programs and facilities: the Crossover Sports Association, Impact Kids, Street Leader Program, Crossover Preparatory Academy, Crossover Health Services, and Crossover Development Corporation. We will build a community center that will host 2 indoor basketball courts, indoor running track, commercial kitchen and community dining area, weight training, cardio training, classrooms, and an administrative area. In addition, the grounds will have a football field, a track, 2 baseball fields, and tennis courts. Sharing space in the community center will be the Crossover Preparatory Academy.
The future of our school, we hope, is there. One of the things that you see in community centers is that the mornings, they're very, underutilized. And we're hoping that we can combine, the use of the school in the morning with using the classroom space for different programs that we have, Jobs for Life classes, Family Foundations classes, those kinds of things, as well as the after-school program. But then having a community center where, we can focus on health and fitness stuff, we can teach nutrition classes.
The Crossover Health Services would start operation in the existing health clinic on the property, and when the need warranted, we would expand the programs and add onto the facility. We would focus on increased access and extended hours.
For every one doctor out north, there's 26 doctors in Midtown and South Tulsa. And one of the cool things that God has been doing at Crossover is he's brought several doctors from the In His Image medical residency program, doctors who are interested in moving into the community.
A retail center would be built to host small retail businesses on the first floor with residential living above, encouraging entrepreneurship and job services. In addition, new multifamily housing is planned on site.
They have a huge direct impact with the students here at Hawthorne. They're really excited when they see them, their faces light up. They don't know, oh, am I doing the right thing? There's one of my coaches, or these are the guys from Impact.
And I just wanted to, help out, and try to have a positive impact on these kids, man, because at their age, I didn't have that. So, I just want to do something positive and help out everybody in every way I could. Man, we up and coming, man. we knocking on some doors, man.